Good evening, my name is Connor McKenna. I have grown up in Spokane, been born and raised. I am currently a fellow at Catholic Charities Eastern Washington. My title is quite the tongue twister, but I'll give it my best shot. I am the coordinator for agency-wide special projects and special assistant to the CEO. I initially started working with Catholic Charities last March when COVID just started, and now I have the privilege of running the pre-show for this wonderful gala we got going on tonight. So to start, we have if you're tuning in on Facebook Live, we have a website you can go to. It is live.cceasternwa.org, and that'll have our stream there as well. And you can find some more information on that as well. So to start, I'm going to introduce these three people that I have standing next to me. It is going to be Rob McCann, the CEO and President of Catholic Charities Eastern Washington, Joe Voss, Vice President of University Advancement at Gonzaga University, and Michael Doherty, the President at Gonzaga Prep High School. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk with me about this. So we're going to start with the Gonzaga Family Haven. And exactly, Rob, what is the Gonzaga Family Haven?
You know, this is probably the greatest project we've built to date, and we've built some doozies. This is a great collaboration with Gonzaga University and G Prep. We're going to get 73 formerly homeless families and give them a forever home right next door to G Prep and right up the street from Gonzaga University. And it's under construction, and we're going to move people in, I think, in August. So we're super excited about this.
Wow, that's very exciting. So going on the Gonzaga Family Haven, what key elements do you think will have an impact on Eastern Washington and Spokane as a whole?
Well, I think homelessness is a huge issue for our entire state, and especially here in Eastern Washington. This project tackles that head on. We're not shying away from the problem. We want to be part of the solution, and this project really is going to send the message to the whole community that it's not just Catholic Charities involved in this fight. It's Gonzaga University, it's G Prep, it's all of us, and we hope to really kind of garner the power of all the alumni of those two schools, all the supporters, all the ZAG fans, all the PUP fans, and get them involved as volunteers, get them involved praying for us, get them involved in helping us build 10 more just like it.
Sounds amazing. Can't wait for that. And then, so what does a partnership such as this mean for Catholic Charities?
The partnership is everything. We don't do this unless Michael says yes to being a next door neighbor to Catholic Charities. We don't do this unless Gonzaga University says yes, that we want to partner with this wonderful idea and bring our students from campus to volunteer at this project, and hopefully make some room for them at both schools to go to school there someday down the road. So without these two partners and St. Al's Parish right down the street, there's no way this project happens.
As a Gonzaga Prep alum, I'm extremely proud to be considered a partner in this. So
absolutely.
That is very honoring for me. So kind of going next to talking about how he mentioned the partnership with Gonzaga University. What does the Gonzaga Family Haven mean to the university?
Now, first and foremost, you hit it on the word when you said partnership. The fact that these three organizations, leading the way, Catholic Charities, has brought us all together with this focus is truly quite unique. And I don't think we want to forget by any means that this could end up being a national model that's replicated in communities all over the country. So that's pretty unique and special in of itself, and we're really proud to be a part of something like that. Second, we're super proud to be part of something that extends our mission and faith into the community in such a unique and dynamic way. We've got all of our students on campus, several thousand. We've got employees, just about 1,500. All of us to be able to focus on a specific part of the neighborhood, and even more so to be able to focus on the Gonzaga Family Haven is so unique. We can take all of our colleges and our schools and focus the programs that are happening in those buildings and those facilities, and make sure we're wrapping ourselves around those families that are living in the Haven, support them, and hopefully even create pathways for them to eventually see themselves at a place like Gonzaga Prep or Gonzaga University or wherever place the students that live there are choosing and wanting to study.
Oh, that's really neat. That sounds like an amazing opportunity for those
cool.
people that are going to be able to use the Gonzaga Family Haven. That is very exciting. What do you think a big impact will be on the community at Gonzaga University having the Haven here in Spokane?
I think the impact for us would be the ability to partner with colleagues at Gonzaga Prep and students at Gonzaga Prep. to be able to bring to life what our students are learning on campus day in and day out, but bring it into the community, specifically with these families, and specifically with the students that are living there. So the impact is to really bring to life what we're learning and trying to develop within our students and bring that service directly to the community, specifically focused on the residents living in the Haven.
Wow, that's amazing. And you mentioned Gonzaga Prep, so we'll ask Michael here a couple questions. So kind of what I asked Joe, what does Gonzaga Family Haven mean to Prep?
Yeah, I think Gonzaga Family Haven is a win-win. It's a win for our local community, for Hilliard, which we call home, and it's absolutely a win for our students and the education that they're going to get to have an active partnership and service at the Haven. Our mission is to teach young people to be persons who are for and with others. And what an awesome opportunity to get our students into direct service and making a difference in the lives of the residents and especially the youth residents of the Haven. We really can't wait. It's so much fun to see it grow day by day. And the opportunity that comes to be companions in this mission and to see this mission really spill over in terms of impact in the local community is just awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of service, I know being an alum at Prep, we have community service classes you are required to take in order to graduate. Do you have any plans to incorporate those community service classes with the Gonzaga Haven?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a whole range and spectrum of opportunities for our students to get involved. I think one of the things that's really neat about the Haven is because it's located really on the corner or adjacent to Prep, there's going to be chances for kids to develop long-term service projects at the Haven. So starting in their freshman year and hopefully progressing through their senior year as well and beyond. In addition to that, we think there's tons of opportunities for kind of one-off or weekend projects for teams or for clubs to get involved with the residents, and then everything in between.
Yep.
So from short-term to long-term, again, I think relationships are the key, and having the Haven next door means that those relationships are just a few steps away.
That's awesome. I think that's going to be really amazing for the clients that are going to be staying at the Haven, and even more so for the students being able to be a part of that and live a life of service that the high school does preach, and that's part of the mission. So that's really exciting. I cannot wait for that. And so kind of a question for all three of you, and whoever wants to answer first is more than welcome to answer first, but knowing having kind of understand what's going to be built at the Haven and all the aspects, what do you think your favorite aspect or element being built is going to be?
I think the outdoor space is really special. And, I think it's going to be really special for the residents of the Haven, but I think it's going to be equally special for neighborhood residents as well. There's not a lot of green space, there's not a lot of parks, and here's a safe and controlled area for families to get to be with their kids and for kids to get to be safe. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to. The other thing is the community space that's there. The opportunity to provide after-school programming for the residents of the Haven, but also for students who are attending Logan. It's going to be really special. So I think you'll see that the Haven means a lot to the families who call it home, but also to the local neighborhood as well.
Yep. Very well said. Thank you.
And I think this is going to be a beast of a project, Connor. There's no doubt about it. We've got a quarter-mile bike trail. We've got a splash pad, medical dental clinic. We've got a multi-denominational chapel. We've got after-school space, cafeteria space. We've never built one like this. It's going to have all the bells and whistles. And, we've already gotten calls from other Jesuit Catholic high schools, other Jesuit Catholic colleges from around the U.S. saying, hey, how you doing that? And can you teach us? And the answer is yes.
Wow.
We hope to see one of these next door to every Catholic high school, next door to every Catholic university. And these two are the pioneers for that. So we're excited.
That's amazing.
One quick thing I would call on, Catholic Charities should take a lot of credit for the way in which they've approached this. The way that the future residents are involved in helping design the space, the way in which Gonzaga Prep, Gonzaga University colleagues are involved, the thoughtfulness that's going into designing every little detail about this community. It's not only going to transform the lives of the individuals living there, but it is literally, as Michael pointed out, transforming the entire neighborhood. Quite exceptional.
Yes, I think that's going to be an amazing thing for the neighborhood. I think that's going to be really, really neat. Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time out of this wonderful event to come speak with me, and to our viewers that are tuned in on Facebook or on our live stream. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Thank you, Connor.
appreciate
Keep
it.
watching. This guy's great.
Thank you, Rob.
All
I
right.
can take that mic from you. And then for those of you guys tuned in, watching on Facebook Live, we do have our live stream. You can get that on live.cceasternwa.org, and then there'll be links for other information on that as well. And then up next, I am thrilled to welcome these three lovely ladies. We have three lovely ladies from Catholic Charities. We have Anne Marie, the Executive Director of the Catholic Charities Foundation. We have Sierra Heinen, our Community Relations Manager. And then last and certainly not least, we have Cassie Kane, our Director of Missions Sustainability. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
I'll give you this.
Okay.
And so to start, Anne-Marie is gonna very gladly and kindly talk about our amazing sponsors that we have helping us out, make everything happen. So Anne-Marie, if you'd like to take it away, feel free.
Sure. Well, we want to thank all of our sponsors here tonight. It's amazing how many times and how many years these partners have been with us over the years, especially for the Catholic Charities Gala and all of our other events. And so right now, Sierra is going to list off our sponsors, but we couldn't do it without you tonight. So thank you.
Yes, so here we go. First, we want to thank our gold sponsor, which is Alliant. After that, we have some silver sponsors. We have Banner Bank, Catholic Charities Foundation, Catholic Housing Services of Eastern Washington, Express Employment, GARCO Construction, Gonzaga University, Northwest Trends of Spokane, Providence Healthcare, Sisters of Providence, Washington Trust Bank, Witherspoon Kelly. And then for our bronze sponsors, we have Architecture All Forms, Aspen Landscaping, DeVries Moving, Packing and Storage, Firepower Inc., and Spilker Masonry Company. So thank you. You guys have been a pleasure to work with, and I feel blessed to have you as partners for this event.
Thank you again. We want to express our gratitude for supporting our clients, our services, our programs, and especially tonight's Catholic Charities Gala. So thank you.
Awesome. And then I have Cassie right here to thank us and thank our sponsor or our donors. And then Cassie, you can step this way a little bit to get in the camera.
Thank you, Connor.
Of course.
Hello, I'm Cassie Kane, the Director of Mission Sustainability at Catholic Charities. My role involves making sure Catholic Charities has the funds and support it needs to sustain our work. Last year, that was truly a challenge. In March, when the pandemic was just taking off, we started to receive unsolicited donations from our amazing donors. They all had notes attached saying things like, use this for whatever you need to help your clients get through COVID. At that point, we really weren't sure what to do, but these gifts helped us be ready for anything. And when you're facing the unknown, that's truly a gift. Some donations were small, some were large, and some were stimulus checks that folks signed over to us. Some donors sent several gifts the first few months. We felt so honored that our donors trusted us to use their gifts to take care of our community. By April, we knew the residents and clients would need help getting access to food as they sheltered in place. And again, our amazing donors responded in an unprecedented way. They became our shopping angels and dropped off thousands of dollars worth of groceries at our front door so we could distribute it to our residents in our apartments and shelters. Normally you ask and then receive, but this pandemic showed me the true depth of our donors. You gave before we asked so we could help our community survive. Thank you so much for helping us weather the chaos of last year and to continue to help us provide services for our clients in their time of need. We're so grateful to have angels like you supporting our agency. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And then following, I am glad to welcome Dina Carr, the director of the House of Charity, where it actually all started for me when I first started working at Catholic Charities. Here's this for you.
Hi, Connor.
How are you?
I'm good. How are
Good.
you?
Doing well.
You look so handsome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Doing well. A little camera shy, but I'm working through it. So
You're a pro.
thank you. So I know we're going to be talking about the House of Charity and mainly focusing on how you've been combating COVID-19 and what you got going on down there. So we'll start with, if you could just kind of walk us through the intake process through COVID-19, because I know it looks significantly different than what it did previous and all the protocols you have to go through and precautions you need to take?
Yeah, it has changed quite a bit. We actually have switched up our service model pretty completely, like you were suggesting. We now offer service 24 hours a day to everyone who slept with us the night before. And when they arrive to check in for the first time, we invite them in. Everybody has to have a temp check. We talk about how they're feeling, if they have any funny symptoms that we might be concerned about. And then the great thing is we have a really great partnership with the health department. So if people do tend to if they have a fever or if they have a funny throat, we can give the health department a call and they'll come up and provide a COVID test with rapid results. So we can clear everyone and get them into a bed really quickly.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's glad to have a good partnership with the health department. They're great, especially working with them. I've worked with them at the House of Charity a little bit, and then at the other shelter I was worked at. They've been very helpful, and it's great having that insight provided. And then, so rumor has you guys have had some pretty fun activities and little clubs going on down at the House of Charity lately.
Yeah.
If you mind elaborating a little bit or sharing what you got going on down there, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's been really fun. You know, I think having people on property 24/7 has really allowed us to dig into relationship, because we always talk about House of Charity being relationship based. So we've been able to find some fun ways to interact with our patrons and connect on a deeper level. And we're implementing things like a gardening club for folks that are interested in cultivating vegetables and fruits. So we hear a lot of great stories in the garden club. We are getting a book club going. We have a music club, and we are actually talking with the folks at Hoop Fest about building a basketball court on site so that we can also have a basketball league.
Wow, that is awesome. That is super fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are a little bit more unique clubs, and so are there any less than typical donations that could help, that people could donate to help with these clubs? Maybe some books that they could donate, or different arts and crafts or gardening tools or anything like that that you can think of that would be good for our viewers to understand. That would be a maybe less than typical donation, but would also be very helpful.
Yeah. You know, I think books are great. People really like to read fiction, so we're always looking for some fun reads in the fiction world. Gardening tools are always helpful. We really need gardening gloves. We've got some big floppy gardening gloves, and it's hard to get in and do some of that detailed weeding, so some nice gardening gloves could go a long way.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we're always needing pajamas. So pajama bottoms are a typical donation request, but super valued and needed.
I believe it. Yeah, who wouldn't want to just be comfy in their pajamas?
Everyone needs some jammies.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
I know. I remember the bookshelf at the HOC. There's always books going on and off that all the time. It's awesome seeing all those people.
Yeah, for
Everybody being able to enjoy a nice book, and
so
having the club and them being able to communicate and talk about it and sit down, I think is really, really neat experience. And then even incorporating the garden into maybe some meals eventually when you get the garden going. I think it would be super cool. I think that's going to be a really, really neat thing to go to.
Yeah,
that's
it's been really great.
Very exciting.
And you know, people get to talk about stories from their childhood. One person in particular was super excited to garden, and he really wanted to grow watermelon. Oh, wow. So for him to come out and cultivate that watermelon plant and watch it grow every week, we just get to hear so much about him and his life, and it's been really great.
Yeah, that's awesome. It seems like a really neat icebreaker for some people too. You get a different perspective maybe, and so I think that's really, really neat experience.
Yeah,
thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sad to say I'm missing out on it.
You're always welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I think that's about it. We need actually one more question. Sorry. I know there can tend to be a little bit of a misconception with some of the community down at the House of Charity. If you could kind of elaborate a little bit on like the perception versus the reality of the community down at the House of Charity.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think it's an understandable misconception, because driving by, you see a lot of things that you ordinarily wouldn't see when you think about appropriate human behavior. But what I always like to remind folks is that when we're having a really hard day, we have the benefit of going home and maybe crying on the shoulder of our loved one or maybe our pet. And we have the dignity of our home where we can express those difficult feelings. And the people that we serve don't necessarily have that. So they're expressing a lot of hard emotion out in in the world, and we're not used to seeing that. So people are really having a hard day, and they're expressing emotion, and yeah, I think that's hard to bear sometimes.
Very understandable. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you on that. And I think a little bit of it is sometimes the lack of support that they don't always have, right? Like you mentioned, being able to go home and have some privacy, even being able to go home and to a loved one, I think is a huge aspect of that, and being able to have somebody else be a shoulder to lean on or a shoulder to cry on. And sometimes those people in the community don't always have that. And so I think
Yeah. Well, and that's what we try to provide when people enter our doors is we are that shoulder. We do become that family.
without a doubt.
So, yeah, we just always are trying to get them to come inside and to join us. So.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for chatting
Thanks,
with me.
Connor. Always good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. I'll have to come visit.
Yeah.
And my last interview for the evening, I get to the lovely pleasure of chatting with Heidi Meany, who is in charge of volunteer and donor engagement. And she's going to kind of share a little bit more with you because she knows a lot more about that than I do.
Thanks, Connor.
Of course.
I apologize. I'm going to be reading mostly from a script, but bear with me here.
That's okay. I am too. So you're
Okay,
good.
thank you. So mostly we just want to let all of our volunteers throughout Catholic Charities know how incredibly blessed we feel. We have so many wonderful community members supporting our programs, especially during this past difficult year. It's been crazy. And especially when we had to suspend our volunteering opportunities, you still showed up for our clients in many creative, thoughtful, and impactful ways. Our hearts were really warmed by those of you who participated in our friendly chat program. You called shut-in seniors with friendly phone calls to cheer them up during COVID, so they knew that someone was praying and caring about them. We were amazed by the countless donation drives you hosted to ensure our clients experiencing homelessness have hygiene products, warm winter wear. Our babies had diapers. I mean, there were donation drives just about every week, and it was incredible.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, we have a wonderful partnership also with local colleges, including GU, Washington State University, Eastern Washington University, and I want to specifically point out their nursing and dental programs. Those students provided, they never stopped coming, even during COVID. They provided much needed access to health care for our vulnerable clients, and we are so very grateful for their continued commitment to us. We look forward to hosting students again at all of our program sites in fall of 2021. While this past year was unlike any other, your love, support, dedication, all of that remained the same, and we could not have done it without you. So looking ahead, everybody wants to know what's going to happen now. We're encouraged by the lower rates of COVID in our area and the fact that most adults and teens have or plan to receive their vaccinations soon. Because we serve many vulnerable populations, it is important for us to be cautious and careful as we reopen volunteering. Not all of our programs are ready yet to host volunteers, but we will be regularly updating our website and social media with those volunteer opportunities. We hope that by this fall we will be able to host groups again at some of those programs, and we would love to help you plan your group service with us. Church groups, business coworkers, neighbors, friends, whatever your group is, we love group service, and we would love to help you find a good fit for it. There's lots more information about that on our website. And I'm not talented enough.
I can hold the mic for you. Of course. There you are.
Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm just going to go right into a couple of volunteer opportunities that we have right now. For example, the Education Support Program at Kappa. It's a year-round homework club providing parent support, student learning assistance, and technology help. We also have Food for All, which is they work closely with the farmers markets, and they're needing volunteers to help with gleaning on Saturdays. Senior services, there's lots to do with senior services. One of the summer programs that we like to connect people with is an Adopt a Lawn program. And then we always have donations of many kinds throughout our program, specifically Kappa and St. Margaret's Shelter. And we always are looking for volunteers with organization skills to help us organize those donations and sort through them. What you need to know if you're interested in volunteering with us is that right now and in the foreseeable future, we will require that all in-person volunteers, so anyone who has direct client contact or direct contact with any of our staff, is fully vaccinated for COVID. Donations of all kinds are always in need by our clients, and also we will be updating all of the information on the donations that are needed and the volunteer opportunities that we have. That will all be updated as soon as we can on the website and social media accounts, so just kind of keep checking back. You're also welcome to call us or email us, and that information is also on the website, because if I tell you our email address right now, probably won't help. All right, thanks.
Wonderful, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to say thank you to all who tuned in so far. If you are tuned in on Facebook, we are still going to be live on live.cceasternwa.org throughout the rest of this show. And if you want to learn more about the Gonzaga Family Haven or how we've been combating COVID-19, if you are on our live page, you will see a couple different tabs above me, or spots to click above me, and one will say Gonzaga Family Haven, another one will say COVID-19. Those will take you to page. The Gonzaga Family Haven will take you to our website that has an abundance of information. So if there's questions you still have, feel free to check it out online, and we'll have all that for you. Don't forget, we are going to be streaming the rest of the gala for you, so that will be back and going again by 7:45, I believe, or 7:15. 7:45, I was right, it's 7:45. So that'll be there, so stay tuned or take a quick little break, go get a snack, and then come back and we'll have the rest of the gala for you. Thanks for tuning in so far.